Do you ever own multiple items of one thing, and then when you go to find it or look for it, you can't find it? That's been my last hour. Yep, looking for a three-way. If you don't know what a three-way is, well, it's a gizmo. You plug into an extension cord and you can plug 3 more cords into it. A three-way. That's why they call it a three-way, because, well, you can do it 3 ways. Now that you know what a three-way is, I spent the last hour looking for it, and, well, I couldn't find it. I know I got to own 4 or 5 of them. I just had one. I was out cutting wood the other day. Maybe the dogs carried it off and turned my three-way into a bone. I don't know, but it was gone. So I went in the shop and robbed one off of one of them gizmos, but I was hooking up their heat pads that go into their dog houses. Yes, my dogs all have heat one way or another. They have an insulated dog house under the carport, insulated with thick 1-inch foam insulation board, and they have dog pads that go inside their little barrels that they love, and they stay nice and toasty no matter how cold. You can adjust the temperature, depending on what the temperature is. I put it on 3 today because, well, it's 49 degrees, but the wind is blowing 40 miles an hour, and it seems like it's 20 degrees out there. It always seems every season change, we're playing catch up. We should be ready. We've done this year after year after year, yet it always seems to catch us by surprise. And that was this morning. I spent the entire night in the hospital last night. If you want to know about any of that, you can check that out on my other channel. At the end of the video, I'll put the link right up in there. It ain't going to be there, okay? It's going to be there. So if you got to know why I spent the whole night in the hospital, I just did that video on my main channel. But when I got home this morning from the hospital, it was cold, man. It was cold. It's been rainy, cold. We haven't seen the sun in 6-7 days probably, but I went upstairs. I came in the house. I was in the hospital all night. I slept there, and it was cold in here. Now, I had the fireplace heater on where Lily was in the room back there, but not in here. I didn't think it would get that cold, but when it's windy, that wind just bites through the house. And so I went up and got the fireplace heater, the little portable one I have, and been running that. I haven't got to put the permanent one in yet. We're getting to that. See, I'm not ready. But I think it's in our DNA that we enjoy the season change, because we naturally want to be prepared. We naturally know that we need to seek warmth. We know that we need to seek cooler in the summer. There's things that we do every single year. And that's why I like living somewhere like here where you have 4 seasons. Now, we don't have a brutal winter. It can get very cold. We can have snow. But for the most part, most of the time, I can be out there in the afternoon on any given winter day in a short sleeve shirt. The nights is where it gets cold. Now, a lot of things to do here because I live out in the boonies, so I have a well. So I got to, and I should have did this last week, but we don't have anything close to freezing temperature. Well, yes, it's going to be 32, I think, this week, but inside that well house, it will not be freezing. But in there, I have a heat lamp that I shine right on the pressure tank and the pump. And that's worked for 11 years I've been here. And I don't have, it's actually still in there. All I really did is unplug the dude. But I have a timer or a remote control that I hook that to. But I like to pull the lid off the well, get in there, make sure everything's good. Maybe add a little extra styrofoam or something in there. I do need to build a new well house so bad, but it's one of them projects keeps getting pushed back. But I had to put the dogs' heaters in, and I was looking for that 3-way. Well, there's always something you're not going to be prepared for, and you're struggling and running and rushing to get something done. But I think we like that. It gives us some sort of accomplishment when we do get everything finally set in. You know, simple things like I just unplugged I got wall air conditioners and unplugged them. I pretty much know I'm not going to need those the rest of the year. So I wrap my cords up, I zip tie them. Did that last year, and then we got a 90-degree day. Had to unbreak the zip tie, but hey, it's a 20-cent zip tie. And there's other things that I want to do this year to make additionally, you know, I want to cover the back of the air conditioners, because what happens is these pine needles come in, they build up in there over the winter, and it's just a hard task to get them out. But we like those kind of things, getting ready for winter. I took all my winter stuff last year and put it upstairs in the loft, my sweatpants, you know, winter clothing. And so I've been up, you know, I went up there and got it all down today, and none of it fits me. None of it. I put on a pair of sweatpants. It had a string in it. I don't know, where do these strings go in the sweatpants? Who takes them? Because I could have swore I would have thrown out any pair of sweatpants that didn't have a string. Because I ain't going to go buy a string and sit there. And have you ever tried to do that? Feed a new string through sweatpants? Ain't worth it. Ain't worth it, man. You can go to Walmart and get you a new pair for $5. That's what I'm going to do. So these sweatpants I put on this morning were like MC Hammer pants. You know, can't touch this. I ain't wearing them. So I'm going to go buy new sweatpants. That's what I wear in the winter in the house. Sweatpants and you know, sweatshirts. This is actually a new shirt that I got because I've been ordering new shirts, but they're all too big because I don't know what size to order because I've lost so much weight. And the last time I got a Carhartt long sleeve, it was 2X because I used to wear 4X. So I figured 2X, well, that ought to fit. No, it swam on me. This is just a regular large, and it's plenty of room. So I gotta get a few more things done for winter, but I try to leave things, you know, in the spring to where when I need them in the winter, I know where everything is. And you can get this hooked up. I take all my heaters, whatever kind of propane, whatever. I store them somewhere I know where they are, but it never fails. It always seems that something gets moved during the summer. That's what happened with my winter clothes, because I was bringing stuff upstairs and buried it on top of all the bags that I had the winter clothes in. I'll never learn. I will never get organized. I will never learn. I need to get us some old dressers or something to put up there just for that purpose. Yeah, I'm never going to do it. I know I'm talking about it, but I know I'm never going to do it. So it's 49 degrees, but I swear it feels like it's 25 out there with that wind. That wind is brutal. So I got the dogs taken care of. You know, I always take care of them before I worry about me, because I want to make sure that they stay warm. There's only 2 outside, and they're really not outside. I mean, I guess they are, but they're under a carport. And in the carport is their doghouse, which is very well built and heavy, rainproof, insulated. It gets toasty in there because last winter, right after I built it, I had their little dog beds going, their heaters. It's just a pad that they lay on. And I've used these the last 2 winters. Man, they are great. And you just lay them in there and they sleep on top of the pad. It's nice and heated. I opened the lid in the morning to give them a milk bone, and my glasses steamed up. That's how warm it was in there between their bodies, these pads, and the insulation. They're not cold anymore. It used to be I would have to go get bales of straw and fill their dog houses, and I always managed to keep my dogs warm, but they're spoiled, you know. And last night was the very first time. I talk about it in my other video. You guys just gonna have to go over there and watch it. That's how I get you. See, I get you curious, and then now you're going to go over there if you hadn't clicked off this already, because I was in the hospital. It's going to be up here, okay? Just wait in a minute. But now, see, I got off on a tangent, and I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm still upset for looking for that 3-way. I'm going to the store tomorrow, and I'm buying 10 3-ways. They're like $2.50 a piece. but I'll still be looking for one next October. Guarantee you, if you mark on a calendar, watch Dogman next October, he'll be talking about a three-way. I'll guarantee you, about this time next year, I'm going to be getting on here and making my video and complaining that I couldn't find a three-way. So I guess tomorrow I'll go check all my propane tanks, make sure they're full. I have a wall propane heater. Don't use it maybe once or twice every winter, but it's nice to have the propane if we do have a cold spell. That's a couple months off before January. Usually February is when we get the really brutal cold weather here for maybe a day or two. But I've lived in places where the entire winter is bad and brutal, like Minnesota. There was no way. And I had to spend about a decade living up there, between there and Iowa. And again, that's what winter is. That's a true winter. If you've never been to Minnesota, go in December. Go in January. You'll see what winter is. It's brutal. I guess that's all I got. All right. It's okay to click off now and go watch that other video. Happy trails.